Welcome back to Running with the Herd. It is 8:30 in the morning here on your Tuesday, February the 4th at the K&D Studios on Electric Avenue. Again, this is Running with the Herd, a weekly McAlester High School Athletics Coaches Show, which we feature every single McAlester Athletics coach. And today we're bringing back a recurring figure of coaches, and then we're adding one as well here today. Again, Running with the Herd brought to you by Reagan Auto and What About Bob's Restaurant. This is your voice of the Buffaloes, Brandon Green, joined alongside McAlester wrestling coaches Kydel Billy, Michael Coffman, and Cole Rollins. How you guys doing today?
Doing well. Doing wonderful today.
Doing lovely. Let's shout out my first hour class once again, Mr. Crone. Thank you for watching it. Shiloh, good job. Christian, good job. Only guys doing your work right now, I bet.
Yeah, and also, hey,
Not one bit.
what's the new flavor today, I guess?
The flavor of the day today is Arctic Vibe.
Arctic Vibe for Celsius. Again, it wasn't planned, but all three of y'all walked in with the Celsius can, so they were trying their best.
It keeps us alive.
Live off Celsius right now.
Coach Coffman, you said that you were pretty dang tired coming into the studio this morning.
I am tired. We've been hit by the flu at our house, and so again, he gave a shout out. I'll give a shout out to my wife. She's at home taking care of sick kids right now, doing the most, while I'm just out gallivanting, pretending to work right now. So shout out to her for being an amazing wife.
And we had Coach Rollins to the show here. Coach, how you doing?
I'm doing well. Glad to be here.
Any shout outs?
Living and vibing?
No shout-outs.
No shout-outs. That's all right.
Simple man.
Let's get right to it, though. Okay, we just met with you guys a couple of weeks ago. Now, even though we just met with you guys a couple of weeks ago, a lot has changed in a couple of weeks. District duels. It was a special day in MacTown. Tell us all about it.
Well, going in the district duels, we knew that it was, which Shawnee's a tough team. They're always consistently ranked top 15. Ada's usually always a tough team. Durant's usually always a tough team. But we knew that it was going to come down to us and Grove. And we finally matched up with Grove, which we've been preparing the kids for all year. We, at the Carl Albert tournament, while Coach Rollins, Coach Coffman, Coach Spencer, and all them coached the kids, I kind of just watched the Grove matches and scouted the Grove, so we kind of knew what was coming with just about every one of them. We knew that if they were going to get on top of us, they were going to throw a leg in, so we prepared for that. And it all came down to Tanner Barlow's match at 120. It was, if Tanner Barlow won, he sealed the duel for us, and we were chipping away at a bunch of decision here, and then we were able to get a good lead, but then they were able to pin and get back and keep it close. When we got to that Tanner Barlow matchup, I said, "Hey Tanner, do you want to be the hero, or you want to step aside and let Cam be the hero?" And if you know Tanner Barlow, he just gave no reaction. He just walked out there. He just walked out there. He wrestled, and he eventually, he had the kid's leg. The kid went for a diving roll, and Tanner just stuck him, put him on his back, and pinned him, and sent us to dual state for the first time in 34 years.
So the sound of the officials' hand on the mat, once that happens, what's the reaction from the guys?
Well, our sideline went pretty wild because we knew that it had been sealed, and so it actually gave us, Cam had taken, which Cam had in the Shawnee duel, he got his 100th win, but he also took the kid shot in and it kind of rocked his dome. So going to that Grove match, Cam would have been the final match, but I didn't see it. We had already locked up the duel. We already have seating criteria over that kid, so there was really no point in wrestling that match, so I just forfeited it. Mm-hmm. Even though Cam didn't want me to, he wanted to wrestle. But I went ahead and forfeited it, and we won 36-30, but our crowd stood up, gave us the applause. The kids were going wild with the handshake line. Came to, and they were all excited, and they knew. We had talked to them about it multiple times. We've let them know the situation, that we haven't been there. We haven't won district since 1991. We haven't been dual state in 1990. In 1991, we didn't go to dual state. We forfeited out because of ineligibility issues, and so we hadn't competed at dual state since 1990. And they knew that. They knew the stakes, and they were just happy. We set out to do something, and we did it. But then after that, it became a new goal. It's not just, and I told them, we're not here just to be here. If we're going to win.
Right.
Okay, whoever we match up in the first round, we're going to try to beat them. It's not celebrate because we're here.
Yeah, we're not just trying to get a date to the prom. We're trying to be a prom king, right?
Exactly.
Prom king, prom queen.
Absolutely.
We're trying to get multiple dates to prom.
That's right. Coach Rollins, Coach Coffman, want to add anything from that day?
I'm really, realistically, just proud of the kids. Like you said, we've kind of been talking about this since districts ended last year. What we needed to do, what they needed to do, kind of Grove didn't. It's a testament to our kids too. We haven't talked about this much. Grove didn't graduate anybody. They returned pretty much all their hammers, and so did we. So it shows that we, as a program, grew more than they did in my mind. So I really proud of the kids and the work they put in. They came in August and they just went straight to it, and they didn't miss a beat all year long. They knew the goal, and somebody asked me, I think it was Coach Singleton asked me before the duel, said, how you feeling? What's going on? I said, our part's done. Well, there's nothing left we can do as coaches. It's on them to go get it. And they went and did that, and I couldn't be prouder of them.
Yeah, kind of like Coffman said, I'm glad we got it done against a team like Grove, them beating us by 20 the year before at districts, and then us coming back and beating them this year. And it really wasn't even as hard as we thought it would be. We were just really on that night, and how we've been preaching all year about beating Grove. They were locked in for that duel, and like Coffman said, it shows our growth, and I'm hoping we can build on it each year.
I mean, you guys are speaking about Grove all the way back in November. This was a long time coming, and it looked like it absolutely fit the moment when it happened, and Barlow ended up getting the pin there. So now you mentioned it, Coach Billy, 34 years in the making. What does that mean to be able to get your program from where you guys have come from to be able to where you are right now? So from someone who bleeds black and gold, for all y'all that bleeds black and gold, what does that mean to you guys?
Well, it was a special moment for all of us, especially because I think we all hugged each other too, because we started it a couple years ago together. Believe it or not, even though he looks 5 years older than me, I was actually Coach Rollins' coach.
That's my thing, is as he walked through the door, I have known Coach Rollins for a long, long time, and I said, who's this guy that just walked through the studio? One, because I wasn't expecting him. I thought it was just going to be you two today, but I'm glad he's able to join us today. But I was like, it took me like 5 seconds, if I'm being completely honest, Coach Rollins, and I'm like, hey, it's cool.
But it was cool for all of us, just because we've been working on it. We've been preaching at these kids for years that they can do it. This group, it kind of became an eye-opening moment a couple of years ago when we dueled Glenpool. We made it to the district championship against Glenpool when we started. I think 10 freshmen and maybe it was 8 freshmen and 3 sophomores, something like that. But anyway, we started a lot of young guys, and we made it, and we lost 37-34.
Yeah, like a 3.
We lost by 3 to Glenpool, and we were young, and that's when we were like, we know we can do this. And then we got in the thing with Grove, which we knew who Grove had. They had 7 really good kids that were all 7 state qualifiers, and 5 of them state placers. And last year, we went at them, but they were just kind of able to overpower us and get through us. But one thing that also, and I want to throw a shout out to those kids that don't get to wrestle a lot, like the Silas McCraws and the Hugo Reyes and the Jose Conazals, Stephen Braggs, there's so many names because we got like 40 kids in the wrestling room now, but they came through at districts, because the last 2 years at districts we only had about 14, 16 kids last year. The year before that, it was just 13. Mm-hmm. So they wrestled 2 years ago, they wrestled 3 straight matches. Last year, they wrestled 4 straight matches. By the time we got to that final match, we were tired. Mm-hmm. This year, we were able to mix and match, and we had some depth, and we were able to send out those kids. So a lot of them going into that Grove, the roles were reversed, and we were fresh going into that Grove, and then Grove looked dead tired. Mm-hmm. And so, against Shawnee, we had already sealed it with 3 matches left, and so I just went ahead and forfeited. So, what the final score was like 48-25 or something. Well, the final 18 points, we just forfeited. We had somebody that could have wrestled, but there was no point in, we sealed it.
Right.
There's no point, and they gave us like a 40-minute break going in the Grove. So as soon as Grove got done with Durant, I asked him, hey, whenever you're ready. He's like, all right, give me 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And so we were a fresh team, and it helped. Those backups, those B guys, those young ones, they helped us out a lot. They came through.
Absolutely. So we're going to speak about the upcoming dual state in just a moment, but we just had senior night last night, another dominant win. You guys have been dominant all year long, getting undefeated 12-0 this year. How special was it to celebrate these seniors that helped pave the way, as you were mentioning at the time when you noticed that things were going to be pretty special, especially as they got older? How special was it to celebrate the seniors that helped pave the way for what McAlester Wrestling has become this year?
Well, I love the senior group because that's the one that started. They've had me all 4 years as their head coach. Before that, even like Coach Hutch, Nate Hutchins, I joined their coaching staff this year. We had him, and when he made a comment one day that he had a different head coach every year of high school, and so that's not the there's no consistency there. And when it's like that, you lose a lot of kids, and it's not good for a program. Well, the first year, my first year was kind of rough. We had a lot of kids that were in the wrestling room with us, and they jumped ship. And then, we had probably about 10 football players come out when football season ended. 9 went back within the first week, and it was like a bunch of kids wanted to just, show up and wrestle, and that wasn't going to fly with me. So like Cam and Kenny and Steven, when Steven came his junior year, but the rules have been the same with him for all 4 years. So they get it. They understand that they have to show up. They have to follow our rules. It's not their rules. It's not the kids running the program anymore. It's, we run it and you follow our rules. But, this group is really good about sometimes, I bet the coaches could walk out, go eat lunch, and the kids would run the room the same exact way as if we were gone.
That's cool.
And they're a good group, and they will do that. And honestly, nobody's going to backtalk Kenny. I'm not going to backtalk Kenny.
No. Coach Cunningham said on the broadcast last night he wouldn't backtalk Kenny.
Yeah,
he said he had to tell his wife that he got whooped by a high schooler.
Yeah, me too, man.
They're a special group, and I'll be sad to see them go. We've talked for the past few years that Cam and Kenny and Greg's senior year would be like last year. We were a little more ahead of schedule than we thought we would be, and so we thought maybe we had an outside chance, but we knew this year would be the year. And so, and like he said, they laid all the groundwork for it. They're the ones that came in, bought into everything we said, and everything we taught. As much as they argued with us on the things we taught and how they wanted to do their own thing, they still bought into our system and how we wanted to do things. And realistically, boys and girls, you couldn't ask for a better group of seniors. They're all just a bunch of workers, and I'll be sad to see them all go. So I think you had Cam his 7th grade year, didn't you?
Yeah.
And so.
Yeah, seeing all their growth has been awesome. Like when we got Kenny, he knew the basics of wrestling, and to see him turn into what he's turning into is great. Like one of the top wrestlers in the state, and he could go to Fargo this year and be an All-American if he wanted to. And then you got Greg, who he couldn't wrestle longer than a minute and a half last year without turning white and almost passing out. And now he can wrestle a full match, no problem. And Cam's always been kind of a natural wrestler, but he's just, as far as kids on our team, he's probably progressed the most year by year because he just really wants it. And all of our girls started off really timid, and now I'd say they come out there and they battle every single time. So that's been really awesome to see.
Yeah, just to mention those girls too, because we don't ever want to forget them. But like Jelami, I'm really proud of Jelami because if you would have told me her freshman year that she would have been one, she lays down the law with the girls.
She does.
And she's not afraid to speak her mind. And if you would have told me that her freshman year, I wouldn't have believed you. McKenna has grown a lot. McKenna kind of be a headache to us sometimes because she gets overly emotional. We're like, come on, McKenna, it's not that big of a deal. But this year she's been one of our more reliable ones. And then we also have Riley and Maddie, and they're good. They're good. We're great to have them. Maddie's probably one of the best athletes I've ever had, boy or girl. She picks things right up. Riley's just, she came in from that jiu-jitsu background. It was kind of a, jiu-jitsu people are comfortable on their back, and you can't be comfortable on your back in wrestling. And then watching her grow from that to how she is now, she'll take shots and she'll wrestle, and she'll still try to throw some rolls from jiu-jitsu in there, but they're not. We're like on our back trying to sweep them. It's more, it's from standing positions or from positions where we're not putting ourselves in danger. And just those 4 girls have grown too, and they're going to be our first class of girls.
That's awesome.
Because the program started when they were freshmen, and Jelami and McKenna have been through it.
I can remember taking. I think I told this story the first time we came. You asked me one of my favorite memories with the girls, and it's taking Jelami to junior high state. Me and Rollins took her up there, and she was, I can't remember, she surprised us and was actually overweight for once. And no complaints, nothing. She was, what do I got to do? Go put that. Coach Rollins gave her a jacket, and she just went to work, started cutting weight. And I think that was about the time I knew she was going to be okay as a wrestler. She knew the game, and she understood what she needed to do. And I knew she was going to be a worker and she was going to be fine. So.
And also, I mean, just looking at it last week in the tri-duels, I mean, having Tahlequah and Muskogee, it was the first ever girls duel, right, for McAlester
We did.
Wrestling?
We got our first win for the girls program in a duel with seven girls, half lineup, but we still got it done. So, and I think Tahlequah was ranked in the top 10 at one point this year.
Yeah.
So that was, not a bad first win at all for them at all. So I was very pleased.
All right, it's Running with the Herd with Coach Kydel Billy, Michael Coffman, Cole Rollins here, brought to you by Reagan Auto and What About Bob's Restaurant. This is Brandon Green, your voice of the Buffaloes. We have one more question before we send it to break and get to some weird off-the-wall questions where Coach Coffman, I know Coach Coffman and Coach Billy like to shine. And Coach Rollins has been doing a pretty good job of filling in here as well. And I think he's going to do great with these questions we have coming up. But as we are approaching the finish line here, it's in sight. It is February. How do we feel about everything going into dual state and into regionals?
I feel pretty good about it. I think, looking at the rankings, kind of how they go and how the seeding, just kind of doing my research on the seeding, I think we're going to match up with either Elgin or Guthrie in the first round, which I think both of those are winnable duels, and just going out there competing, going for a win, and then taking on who comes next. Hey, go to win. We're not going to hang out.
Mm-hmm.
It's not just to go to dual state, wrestle, and go eat an early lunch. No,
Yeah.
we're coming for competition. Okay, we're coming for a fight. But I feel good about it, and I think we can. I think our postseason is going to be pretty good.
Multiple dates to the prom.
Yeah.
Coach Coffman?
I think we're going to go up there at dual state, and we're going to. Obviously, we've already had a coming out party a little bit, and but there's still a lot of people in the state who, and it sounds cliche, but they don't really respect us as a whole, and we're okay with that.
Mm-hmm.
We've kind of built our program on that, but I really think we're going to go out to dual state, and we're going to hurt some people's feelings, and I'm looking forward to that. Kind of as an I told you so. And then once we go to regionals for both boys and girls, I think we're gonna put on a show a little bit. Personally, I mean, I think we can get quite a few of the boys in. I think all the girls got a shot to get in, and so I'm really excited to see what they do in the postseason.
You guys are pumping me up. Coach Rollins, anything you'd like to add?
Yeah, as long as they show up, like dual state wise, we have a great group of kids, and they honestly make our jobs a lot easier. And if we can show up at dual state with the right attitude, and they're ready to wrestle and wrestle with no weight on their shoulders, they can do anything.
All right, I love that. Again, this is Running with the Herd with wrestling coaches Kydel Billy, Michael Coffman, Cole Rollins here, brought to you by Reagan Auto and What About Bob's Restaurant. We'll take a quick 60-second break and thank our sponsors, and we'll be back with our final segment here of this episode of Running with the Herd on KNED.
What About Bob's Restaurant, the home of Bob's Sunrise Surprise, is located at 610 North Main in McAlester. What About Bob serves up your favorite comfort food 7 days a week from 7 a.m. to 2 p.m. Go down and see Olivia and the gang for breakfast and lunch. What About Bob's Restaurant, open 7 days a week from 7 a.m. to 2 p.m. Check them out on their Facebook page, What About Bob's, 610 North Main in McAlester. Reagan Auto has been servicing the community with exceptional service and outstanding work since 2015. At Reagan Auto, we are not only honest and reasonable, but we genuinely care about taking care of our customers. From our Reagan Auto family to yours, we wish you a happy new year. Entering 2025, we would like to encourage everyone to schedule your vehicle's maintenance and repairs with Reagan Auto. Stop by 306 East Wyandotte Avenue to schedule an appointment or call 918-715-3236.
9 in the morning on your Tuesday, February the 4th. It is a little bit chillier than it's been the last couple of days. 45 degrees outside McAlester right now in the KNED studios. It is a plenty of room temperature here as we have Running with the Herd, a weekly McAlester Athletics coaches show. This time with McAlester wrestling coaches Kydel Billy, Michael Coffman, and Cole Rollins here. Again, this show brought to you by Reagan Auto and What About Bob's Restaurant. This is Brandon Green, and we heard some, during the break, some shout-outs we still need to give, right? Let's give some shout-outs before we start off our questions here.
Which one do you got first?
All right, well, first off, I'm going to shout out Coach Spencer, Miguel Spencer, the living legend. The fun story about him is that everywhere we go, somebody will be like, is that Miguel Spencer? Because back in the day, he was a 3-time undefeated state champion. The U.S. sent him all over the world to wrestle for him and represent him. And somebody always tries to steal him from us, but he's here to stay.
We usually take bets on how long it'll take somebody to ask for his autograph.
Yeah.
So it's pretty fun to watch.
This is a true story. But yeah, he's really big for me this year because he'll pull me aside and be like, "Hey, chill out." You know, I don't know if you guys know this, but I probably get 10,000 steps in a duel.
He's your get back coach.
I'm a pacing. I pace back and forth constantly. He's just like, "Hey, you need to mellow out." And then we also need to shout out the teacher's pet, Coach Pat Zach.
Coach Patzak is teacher's pet. She's going to do everything she can to be liked by the admin. We respect her for that. So, but we make fun of her for it as well.
I also tell her she needs to start being a bad teacher and a good coach. Just quit making the rest of us look bad. Can't be both. You got to pick one. And then Coach Ball. Coach Ball passed his test. Passed his teaching certification test.
Let's
So
go.
We're proud of him.
Let's go.
A lot of stress off his shoulders.
And then we'll just say Coach Hutch.
All right, let's go ahead. Let's get started here. You guys have been around some gyms before. What is your favorite hospitality room food?
Oh, I'll be that guy. He shocked me this year at Edison though, and that's Coach Hammer from Hulbert. He made some homemade gumbo this year, and I gotta tell him that was, of all the years I've coached, I've been to some good hospitality rooms, and I know I look like I don't turn down hospitality room food because I don't. Coach Hammer from Hulbert, his homemade gumbo, it's the truth.
Listen, that gumbo is legendary. It really is. Because for the longest time, the Oak Mulligan Wrestling Tournament, we only go back every year because of that gumbo. It's really, that's the only time I ever get it. It's actually really good.
Yeah.
Like, he does a good job with it.
Favorite hospitality room food? Probably when we went to that Midwest City tournament. Not the best hospitality room, but their coaches make smoked turkey legs for everybody at the end of the tournament. That was a pretty good one.
You gotta love it when hospitality rooms they get a little bit creative with it, and like I love how I know it's I think it's Coach Singleton, or I know Coach Homer also did it for a little while. Barbecue, bringing barbecue over to it's pretty cool when you get to have stuff like that, and not just I know why you have to do it, but every single time that you go to a lot of these places, it's just like you have the sandwiches, and that's great. It's always a fan favorite, but I like when you put a little bit of flavor on it.
Yeah, if you're getting a James Singleton hospitality room, you're getting a pork shoulder for sure.
Pork shoulder.
He loves doing the pork shoulder.
I like the pork shoulder.
But yeah, in wrestling, your hospitality room is kind of your selling point too.
Yeah.
So that's why a lot of hospitality rooms try to be different and try to do something.
That's why your guys are going to Oak Mulligan.
Yeah, that's exactly. And we'll be back next year.
You guys aren't unfamiliar with Mornings on K&D now. This is now the 4th episode that we've had with McAlester Wrestling on Running with the Herd. So whether you have it before or after the show, what is your favorite breakfast food?
I'm any type of croissant, sausage, egg and cheese, bacon, egg and cheese. That'd be my go-to right there. So,
You ever watch Jimmy Neutron?
I didn't. No,
Okay.
I'm sorry.
I was going to say if you did, and I'm just thinking of what is that guy? Carl Weezer. For anyone that's a millennial that grew up watching Jimmy Neutron, you're laughing with me right
Yeah,
now.
Coach Coffman was probably getting arrested in 2005.
I don't know. I mean,
That's not true.
maybe.
It might be true.
No, it's not.
Coach Billy?
I'm actually kind of the same. I like a big breakfast sandwich. Like,
Yeah.
my favorite thing from like McDonald's are the McGriddles, bacon, egg, and cheese McGriddles. I'm not necessarily a go-to on the McGriddle because a lot of people mess them up and their pancakes are or the McGriddle is actually kind of doughy on the inside. McDonald's does a good job of perfecting it, but just kind of those breakfast
McDonald's
sandwiches.
does a good job.
Yeah, well, you get Celsius, now we got McDonald's
$1 billion
coming up next.
corporation does
Oh.
a good job.
McDonald's, capital M, little C.
Little C. Okay, Coach?
I'm pretty basic when it comes to breakfast. I don't eat breakfast a lot, but when I do, it'd probably just be eggs, bacon, and hash browns or home fries or something.
Listen, I'm a South kind of breakfast guy. Biscuits and gravy.
Coach Rollins is a food is fuel type of guy. He doesn't believe in flavor, so these questions mean nothing to him.
That's true.
If you were an animal, which one would you be?
I mean, I've had the nickname Moose since before I was born, so I'll go with that one, I guess.
Okay.
That is the first I've ever heard.
So my mother, we're gonna have to tell a story now.
That's like
We're
Coach
gonna tell-
Rollins' nickname.
Can't tell that one on air. So we're gonna tell a story now. My mother is 5'0", all of 105 pounds, and she had me. She got put on bed rest like 3 months in. Why are you turning red? Why are you turning red? She got put on bed rest 3 months in, and her stomach would hang out past her knees. My dad came home, and she was in the middle of a breakdown. He was trying to figure out why. It's because she was carrying this big old moose around, is what she said. So that is what my family has called me. No, I have not told y'all.
That is going to
you will weaponize
that
it
is,
when
well,
you're on
you
out.
are. That's absolutely true.
We definitely are going to weaponize it.
We're learning new things there on Running with the Herd. Coach Billy, what animal would you be?
A buffalo. Go bust, baby.
Let's go. I like that. Coach Rollins?
And Billy stole mine. Hey, I'll just say like a brown bear.
A brown bear.
Yeah,
Okay.
you look like a bear.
He would be a grizzly bear.
Two more here. If you were a brand, what would be your motto?
Oh, that's a good one. I'm going to let Rollins go first so I can steal something.
Billy, you go ahead.
I don't know, probably something along the lines of, I don't know, I tell the kids all the time, do your job.
Do your job.
Do your job.
Mine, see, I can't say what I tell the kids because, not that I'm cussing out children, let me put that out there, but
Had to quickly
I
say
do.
that.
I mean, I do ask. Sometimes they look at me and I tell them, "You're looking at me like I'm asking you to cure cancer. I just want you to hit a stand up. It's not that hard." So
That's a long motto.
There's my tagline right there. I'm not asking you to cure cancer. Just do something.
We can do something like Kenny's. Kenny's is wrestling's not real, just stand up.
That is true. That is true.
The girls basketball players said that their motto for Coach Bashir's would be, "We don't negotiate with terrorists."
That's true. I've heard Coach Bashir say that.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
Coach
If y'all
Rollins.
ever seen Dodgeball, I'd probably go with the old Globo Gym motto.
Oh, with the
We're better than you. And you don't.
That is definitely Coach Rollins.
Let's go. And our last one here, and this has all been fun ones. Would you rather fight one horse-sized duck or 100 duck-sized horses?
I actually heard this question like yesterday, and
Really?
I would rather fight 100 duck-sized horses because a horse-sized duck sounds terrifying.
Yeah, that would be terrifying. I'm gonna have to agree with them. But I got a follow-up question to this when we're done. Go ahead.
All right, well, my mom is no pansy, so I'm going to fight the giant duck.
Okay.
Here's the next question, though. How many kindergartners do you think you could take in a fight?
Gosh, dang. Why are we asking that?
At least 100.
I don't know, man. Kindergartnens have a lot of energy.
They do. They do.
Coach Rollins is a little bit better than me. He's still got some stamina. I've got about 30 seconds in me, so I think I could take out 20 in 30 seconds.
How quickly Coach Rollins answered that, though. It's like he's been dreaming of fighting 100 kindergartners.
No, I'm prepared.
Prepared.
Worst case scenario.
Gosh, this has been a fun one. Guys, thank you for your time today. Is there anything else you'd like to add that we missed, that we might have missed today?
Girls regionals, again, 17th, 18th. We're at home. Y'all need to come out and support these girls. They work hard. And then, obviously, the boys will be at Dual State at the UMAC on the 15th. Y'all need to come out and watch them as well. Come support them.
Absolutely.
And if we don't get renewed after this year, you guys still show up to wrestling.
Coach?
Yeah, I'm excited how this year's went. It's been really fun. It's been probably my favorite year of coaching here out of all the years I have been here, and I'm excited to see how it keeps growing.
Absolutely. This has been Running with the Herd with Coaches Kydel, Billy, Michael Coffman, and Cole Rollins of McAlester Wrestling. Thank you guys for stopping by once again.
Thanks for having us, man.
Appreciate you.
Again, this was brought to you by Reagan Auto and What About Bob's Restaurant. We're going to hear from them one more time, and then we'll send it back to your regularly scheduled programming here on KNED.
Reagan Auto's been servicing the community with exceptional service and outstanding work since 2015. At Reagan Auto, we are not only honest and reasonable, but we genuinely care about taking care of our customers. From our Reagan Auto family to yours, we wish you a happy new year. Entering 2025, we would like to encourage everyone to schedule your vehicle's maintenance and repairs with Reagan Auto. Stop by 306 East Wyandotte Avenue to schedule an appointment or call 918-715-3236. What About Bob's Restaurant, the home of Bob's Sunrise Surprise, is located at 610 North Main in McAlester. What About Bob serves up your favorite comfort food 7 days a week from 7 a.m. to 2 p.m. Go down and see Olivia and the gang for breakfast and lunch. What About Bob's Restaurant, open 7 days a week from 7 a.m. to 2 p.m. Check them out on their Facebook page, What About Bob's, 610 North Main in McAlester.